Hi, and let's take a look at 3 of Cologne's Christmas markets in 2021. And this was part of our 3 cities road trip, which saw us visit Aachen, Münster before returning to Cologne and then heading home. And this was our 12th visit to Cologne at Christmas. And this time it was under the 2G rules, which meant we had to prove that we'd been vaccinated or recently recovered from COVID. And although we were here on a Monday and Tuesday, it seemed a lot quieter than it would be during a normal season. But that didn't mean that it still didn't have that wonderful German Christmas spirit. It also meant we had the opportunity to visit old haunts, such as one of our favourites, the beer house in Salzgasse. That's the one over to our left. And this is one of the many little cobbled lanes that weave their way through the old town and takes us towards the River Rhine, which leads us down to our first German Christmas market, and that's Cologne's Harbour Market. Situated on the edge of the River Rhine, surrounding Cologne's Chocolate Museum. Yes, it has a chocolate museum. And new for this year, it has a 48-metre high Ferris wheel, which we can just see in the distance. And Cologne's Christmas Harbour Market is one of 7 main markets within Cologne. I'll pop a link in the description to the tourist information to give you more details. And this is Monday afternoon, around about 3:30, and the first impression is that it seems a little quieter than on normal years. But as always, there's a great selection of food and drink, as well as around about 70 stalls selling some fairly unique and interesting gifts. And there's that chocolate museum on our left. In all the 12 years that we've been, we still haven't managed to squeeze in enough time to visit the chocolate museum. Oh well, that's just an excuse to come back again next year. And maybe next year we'll actually get to go on the Ferris wheel. Who knows? I would imagine the Ferris wheel gives you a pretty stunning view over the city, the lights below, and the River Rhine, on which Cologne sits. And it's on this market that you can find the Lighthouse Tavern, which I believe is the only market stall that sells hot spiced beer. Now, I know, don't knock it till you tried it, it's actually quite nice. And as I always say, these markets always look stunning after the sun has gone down. Once again, I wander through the stalls, provide you with a mix of great food, drink, and some interesting gifts. We didn't pick anything up this year, but we have in the past. It's always nice to be able to buy someone a gift which you know they won't find on the high street. And over to our left is one of our favourite German Christmas market treats, and that's salmon cooked over wood. Stuffed in a bun, this is a must try. I know it's a Monday, but it still seems incredibly quiet around here. Let's take a look at our next market, the Dom Christmas Market, with its giant Christmas tree set in the shadow of Cologne's amazing Gothic cathedral. This year's market is smaller than previous years, but that's not due to COVID. The redevelopment of the old Dom Hotel appears to have encroached onto the space of the old market. That doesn't mean there's not plenty of stalls, and a lot of the old favourites are still there. The big difference is obviously the face coverings, as well as the mandatory 2G requirements. Once you've proved that you've met the 2G requirements, you'll get a stamp on the back of the hand, which means you don't need to prove at every food or drink stall. And once again, whilst it looks quiet here, there are certain areas which I think are going to get busy, so it depends on how comfortable you feel in those spaces. I think one of the most congested areas is in the central region by the tree in front of the stage. However, if you just want to have a glühwein and stand to the side, there are plenty of places that give you that opportunity. Once again, as we wander through here, I see gifts on stalls and I think, oh, I bought that for my sister, I bought that for my mother, I bought that for myself. I guess I just get sucked into the Christmas spirit. And now for a little look in high speed. And relatively new addition since about 2015 is the Christmas pyramid that seems to nestle up alongside the Dom Market, mainly serving food and drink. It's a great place to get fed and watered on our way to our next market, and without a shadow of a doubt, our favourite market, and that is the Elf Market. And I think this market is particularly wonderful, and one of the features that I really like about it is the band who play by the fountain. Again, it looks stunning in the evening with its beautiful illuminations. Over the years, this market has improved so many times, and it now runs from the Altar Market or the Old Market all the way through to High Market or the Haymarket. And guess what? Another band. And isn't that an impressive drinks hut? But if you think that's impressive, let's take a look at the ice rink. Updated in 2013, I think this has to be one of the best ice rinks we've seen at a Christmas market. Let us know your thoughts. What's your favourite Christmas ice rink? Leave us a comment, we'd love to know. And also, if you're enjoying this, why not subscribe? We'd really appreciate that. And that's going to complete our look at Cologne in 2021. I really hope you like what we put together. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, but most importantly, stay safe, stay well, and happy travels.